Good morning, friends. Welcome to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee, and today you're just going to be coming along with me while I accomplish a few things. The first of which being, well, I have to go get my blood work done today, but when I get back from that, and I'm fasting for it, and I don't like to fast, your girl likes her breakfast, so I'm going first thing. They open at 7. It is 6:40, so I'm going to leave here in just a second. When we get back, we are tackling this kitchen. Let me show it to you. Here, actually, let me turn the light on. Okay. Benny, let's show him this kitchen, bud. It is a disaster. Oh, it's so bad. Yes, that's my toaster on the floor. And that's where I used it, on the floor, because I don't have a lick of counter space. There was something here last night, so it's on the floor. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh, yeah. You gotta go outside? Come on. So the way that it goes for me, I go to my patient's house Sunday at 6 p.m. and I stay there all night. I get out either at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, depending on if I have Bible study. I come home on Monday, and then Monday is a cooking day. I go grocery shopping for me and for my patient, and then I come home and I do all my meal prep for me and for my patient. And it's so easy to say that to you, but it takes me all day long. I was trying to crank out a batch of cookies right before I needed to leave Monday night at I texted the family member and around like 8:15. It was like I'm probably gonna be a few minutes late because I'm trying to get these cookies out. PM. Yeah, all day I'm in the kitchen. And so I was running so late trying to get there on time. This is all the product of that meal prep. And I just haven't had, like, those are the cookies over there because I made a double batch, a batch for us and a batch for them. And so I don't have time to clean. And then when I get out at 7 in the morning on Tuesday, I have to be to my next patient's house at 9 a.m. Tuesday. So I come home, I hop in the shower, I feed the chickens, I feed Benny, I take care of whatever needs to be taken care of in terms of like have to happen, and then I immediately am back on the road to my next patient. So this mess, it's Wednesday morning. This is Monday's mess that's just been here. And I feel bad for Tom because I'm not home. Like I know it's here in my mind, but I don't have to see it. Tom has to see it. So I hate that. I'm hopeful as time goes on I can get in a better routine, learn to manage my time a little better, and then I can not leave such a mess when during Tuesday, and I can clean it up. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you. I'm going to go get my blood work done. I'm looking forward to getting that out of the way, and then I'm going to come back, probably make some breakfast because I function much better when I've had breakfast, and then we're going to clean this kitchen, and it's going to be so satisfying. After that, we're going to talk about beef liver because I need to do something with my beef liver. We're going to talk about butter. We're going to make some butter. And then we're going to talk about flour. That's what's on the agenda. If we have time, we might can up some peaches. Honestly, probably, as I'm saying it, I doubt it. Probably not. But that's what we're going to do today. So I'll be right back. I don't want to clean the kitchen, and I'm procrastinating. So what's the natural thing to do? Go to the garden and harvest a bunch of stuff. Makes me feel productive. I'm doing stuff, just not the stuff that needs to be done. Oh, the human mind. Look at this tomato. How weird is that? I'm not going to eat it because it's got like some kind of disease, but I just thought that I don't grow a lot of, what are these, like beefsteak or like these large tomatoes. I don't usually grow these, but I had to supplement a lot of my tomatoes with starts from the nursery. So I ended up with a few, and this must be one of those varieties. And I just think that's so funky looking. I'm gonna give this to the chickens, but I just wanted to show you guys. It's like literally the size of a small pumpkin. All right, and the kitchen is clean-ish. I'm not done yet. I have to finish the dishes. I'm gonna unload the dishwasher when it's done and finish loading it. It won't be full enough to run, so that'll be nice because I can load it throughout the day as I work on my projects. And I also still have to clean the stove. Yeah, the stove needs to be cleaned. I don't sweep until I'm done cleaning all of my surfaces, because crumbs and whatnot are gonna end up in the floor. So I'll do one big sweep at the end when the stove, I'm done cleaning the stove and whatnot. But sorry, you'll definitely hear the dishwasher throughout our time together, but I definitely needed to get that going. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next project. There have been things building up that I really need to get done, and using this raw cream to make butter is one of them. I bought this cream on the 11th of August, and it is the end of August. So, still smells fine. Maybe it's starting to turn, but raw dairy products don't really go bad. They just start to turn into something else. So we're gonna turn this cream into butter. So I've got my KitchenAid stand mixer here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour this cream right in here. I don't always do this. I buy butter from the same farm that I got this cream from. I'll show you. I get a 27-ounce container, plastic container of butter every other Tuesday, and it doesn't even quite last me that 2 weeks because I end up substituting. I use lard where I can. I use store-bought butter in some of my baking. This is not enough butter with the amount of food, with the amount of cooking and baking that I do in the kitchen. Anytime I actually physically go to the farm, which has only been twice now because it's an hour and a half away, they always have these little raw cream containers, 16 ounces, in their the fridges at their farm stand, and I always buy one for the novelty of it. This isn't something that I do out of necessity. I just enjoy it. And I like having the buttermilk that's left over after I make the butter, and I use that in baking projects. I like having it, so I do it occasionally, but certainly not regularly. I do dream of and look forward to the day that I have a dairy cow and I can make butter to my heart's content and have all the buttermilk that I want, because these projects do bring me a lot of joy. All right, so what we're gonna do, let me get a clean hand towel. I need to do some laundry. I'm running out of hand towels. We are going to put this to speed 6. I'm gonna cover it with a towel I don't want to get cream splashed all over my kitchen, and we're gonna let it go for a while. It's gonna take a little bit. When I say like the novelty of it, it's just so fun. I don't know, it's so cool, it's different, and I really enjoy the process, and I end up with a really tasty product in the end, you know, and that includes the buttermilk that I get to now bake with, buttermilk pancakes and waffles and, you know, whatever else I choose to use it for. And so it's just, I don't know, I love it. It's the novelty, like I said. It would not make sense, the price that I get all of that butter for already made, it wouldn't make sense to buy the cream and make the butter myself. All right, so I'm just gonna get all of the butter off of here, and I'm gonna get the butter and squeeze out the buttermilk. Try to get up all the butter from the bottom. Ah, buttermilk to the eye! Woo, hello. Squeeze out as much of it, because remember, I want the buttermilk, so I'm going to squeeze out as much of it as I can now. And then come over here, cold water. Now, I'm not all that thorough with the squeezing out of the buttermilk, because this little butterball right here is not going to last me 2 days. I'm going to consume this in 2 days, watch. So there's really, if the reason you're squeezing out the buttermilk is because the buttermilk is what causes butter to spoil. Otherwise, this would last and wouldn't go bad for quite some time. So the buttermilk is what causes butter to spoil. So you get out as much of the buttermilk as you can, so that the butter will keep as long as possible. And if I were making, you know, my family's butter, I would care a whole lot more about that and would put in a lot more effort. But meh, we're gonna go through it so quickly that I'm not worried about it. But, you know, I get out as much of it as I can because I want it, the buttermilk, but I'm not, you know, being crazy about it. So there you go. Made some butter. I've been really needing to do this because that buttermilk had been sitting in my fridge for a long time. And then down in the bottom of my stand mixer, now we've got buttermilk. So what I usually do with the buttermilk, just pour it into a container. I store this in the fridge, and I'll go through it over the course of the next few days. And if I think it's been in the fridge too long and it's starting to go bad, I'll make a batch of pancakes or waffles for the freezer. And that's how I'll use this up. And then my butter, let's see, how do I want to store my butter? I just grabbed this container to have somewhere to put it. I should get like a designated butter container. That would be really cute. All right. So that kitchen task is completed. Now let's move on to the liver. I want to eat it raw. This is beef liver. I want to eat it raw really bad. I know that the health benefits are magnified by, or rather, I know that you get the full health benefit when you eat it raw versus cooking it, and that's true with so many things. It just freaks me out a little bit. So I posted in my Weston A. Price local chapter Facebook group and was like, do you guys eat raw beef liver? You know, it's been frozen for definitely in my fridge for 14 days, or my freezer for 14 days. But even before that, I bought it frozen from the store. So it's been frozen for a long time, which essentially kills off any potential parasites or anything. So I was like, do you guys eat it raw? And I think I just needed somebody to tell me, yes, I do this. Somebody that's not a popular YouTuber. And I had a bunch of people. They feed it raw to their kids. They eat it raw. And most people say they chase it with orange juice because orange juice like immediately gets rid of the flavor. So let's do it. Let's try it. I really want to. I want to do it. I want to do it. It's good for my health. It's good for getting so many different vitamins and minerals, different nutrients into my body during this time when I'm trying to work on that kind of thing. So let's try it. Let's do it. All right. Let me get out a little bit of orange juice here. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm not good at taking pills. I'm not good at like swallowing things. So, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. What if I try to swallow it and I gag? Okay, so I've got this little piece of beef liver and my orange juice. Oh, I'm so scared. Okay. Okay. You can do this. You're doing it for your future babies. Oh my gosh. I'm so nervous. Okay. Ooh. I did it. Oh, it was so slimy going down. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Oh boy. Okay. I didn't taste it at all. I'm like trying not to gag because it was so slimy and like my brain knows that I did it. So it's like wanting to freak out. We're keeping it down. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I did it! I ate raw beef liver! Okay. Woo! Yes! Ooh! Getting all the vitamins and minerals. Okay. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do, these two, I think the way that the farm I buy it from does it, they take the whole liver and cut it into strips for easier packaging. So I think these are strips of one liver. And you can tell, like, to me, this is the inside of the liver because it's very, like, I don't know the word exactly, but it's like kind of, I don't know, it just looks like the inside, right? Whereas these other pieces are nice and smooth, and I think this is more the outside. The smooth outside pieces are more what I think I can stomach swallowing. So I'm going to cut these pieces, these smooth outside pieces, into, you know, swallowable chunks. And then I'm going to package them. I'm going to keep, I think I want to keep 2 days worth in the fridge, thawed. And then the rest I want to keep in the freezer. So I think I'll probably lay them out on a cookie sheet, the chunks, and flash freeze them, and then throw them into a baggie together. Keep 2 of them out in the fridge so that I can swallow it thawed. Because everybody said, I asked that, everybody said they swallow it thawed, not frozen. And then these other 2 pieces that are more rough looking, I'm going to freeze. And then when they're frozen, I'm going to grate them using my box grater. And I'm going to keep that on hand to put in like ground beef recipes. So that way Tom and I are both eating it. But that way you don't really taste it or know it's there because it's just grated in with your ground beef. So I think This is my second time working with beef liver. The first time I made a pate. I think this is going to be how I handle it from now on. Okay, I've got it all of my pieces that making a mess. All the pieces that I cut up, I put in a big Tupperware container here. I'm just gonna take a paper towel and kind of try to blot it best I can. I rinsed it when I took it out of the container, but you know, blood's in it. So it's gonna slowly, as it thaws, because this is still partly frozen, so as it thaws, it's gonna release more blood. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of try to pat it dry-ish best I can. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is go through and just try to roughly separate them. So I'm gonna put these in my deep freezer and flash freeze them. And the purpose of doing that, you can do that with a lot of different things. When I go to put them all in one container together, after they've been flash frozen, they will hopefully not stick together, at least not as much. And I'll be able to pull pieces apart from frozen so I don't have to thaw it every time I want some, because you'll run the risk of spoiling it if you try to do that. So that's what we're doing here. That's the purpose of this. Okay, and then I have another Tupperware container here, and I'm going to lay out these other pieces flat in here. And I'm also going to freeze these, not necessarily flash freeze. I'm actually going to deep freeze these. I want them to be really frozen because I want to be able to grate it with my box grater, and having them be frozen will give me the opportunity to do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take these right down to the basement so they can get freezing. Okay, we are going to talk about something that I've been actually wanting to talk to you about. This has been on my heart big time for a couple of weeks now. I started watching the podcast Sue's Healthy Minutes. It was recommended to me in my Weston A. Price group that I'm in, which, by the way, look up, if you're on Facebook, look up your local Weston A. Price chapter and see if there's a Facebook group for it. I have learned so much being in that group. It's a super encouraging group of people, and I've really enjoyed being in it. So I started watching Sue's Healthy Minutes, or listening to the podcast on Spotify, and her big thing, she owns Bread Becker's, and she is real big on real bread. And the flour, all-purpose flour that you purchase now, even if you get it from a nice source like Azure and it's organic, it is not the complete product. So when they mill the flour, they separate the germ and the bran away, and all you end up with is the endosperm. And it wasn't meant to be like that. If you consume all three parts of the wheat seed together, your body's more able to process it. The vitamins and minerals are complete and bioavailable, and so much better for you. And she talks extensively in her podcast about how a lot of the ailments that we see today, she believes, are the product of this subpar flour product that we've been consuming for generations now. And it has been weighing. She backs a lot of what she says with scripture, which I love and appreciate. And it just amazes me how God's living word is applicable still today in 2023. And I love that kind of thing. It's been weighing so heavy on my heart that we need to do this. And it's happening. It's funny how things get orchestrated. Tom is going through his own digestive journey right now. And he's been going to the doctor, and they're starting to throw out things like dairy intolerance, gluten intolerance. They're thinking about trying some different antibiotics. And I'm like, whoa, hold the phone here. So I want to try milling my own flour this is the action item. What you do to remedy this is you purchase, instead of purchasing already milled flour, you buy the wheat berries. Here I have organic, hard white wheat berries. And funny enough, I actually have had this bag sitting in my homesteading room for months and months and months. I think it might have even been the end of 2022 that I bought this because I had heard about it and was going to look into it, and then it just kind of fell off. But now I have this like fire lit in me to do this. Here's the problem. Grain mills can be very expensive. I see a lot of people with the Nutri-Mills, the Wonder Mills. There are so many different brands and different types out there. There are ones that are pretty and look good sitting on your counter, and there's so many different kinds of wheat mills, and they're very expensive. The one that I want, the Nutri-Mill, the pretty one that's made out of bamboo and it sits on your counter, is $350. And guys, as much as I tell you, like, I've come to you so many times and I've said, you know, if something really matters, you find a way to make it work. If something really matters, you fit it into the budget. That's how I feel about raw milk. There's no way I'm giving up raw milk. I don't care if I have to go on the side of the road and look for cans. I'm getting my raw milk. So, you know, this doesn't really fall under that for me right now because $350, I just don't have. I just genuinely don't have it. So I've been praying about it and I've been saying, God, I feel like you've put this on my heart. If this is something I'm meant to do, you're going to have to provide, you know, give me the provision because I don't have it. I cannot purchase a grain mill. And that prayer wasn't really being answered. And I told my mom, I was like, I think I'm just going to I do have a little bit in savings, but it's my emergency savings. I told my mom, I said, I think I'm just going to do it because I'm feeling like this urgency to do this, but it hasn't been provided for me. And that's unlike me because I've said this before as a Christian, if the answer, the path is not clear to me, I just don't do anything because to me, that's God saying it's just not time yet. So I was thinking, okay, so I texted my mom and I told her, I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy one. I was online doing research. I was going to buy one online and it just did not feel right. And so I said, okay, well then I won't. But what's the move here, God? What am I supposed to do? And then I remembered in that moment that I have a coffee grinder. This little tiny thing, this is what I buy whole bean coffee for Tom. It's often cheaper, and we just grind it ourselves, and it's a tiny little thing. So we're going to try right now. I've not done it yet. We're going to do it together. I'm going to try and see if I can grind these wheat berries fine enough to use as flour. And hey, if that's the move, if I have to do it 3/4 a cup at a time for baking and to feed my sourdough starter, I'll do it. I'm feeling very strongly that it's time for me to start milling my own wheat, or my own flour. So let's do it. Let's see. Let's see if we can make this happen. Oh, I'm so excited. So these are what the wheat berries look like. I don't want to fill it up too much because I don't know what the volume is going to look like ground. Now for coffee, we keep it on a medium grind, but there is a fine option. So I'm going to turn it to fine. I'm going to set it down to, I've got about, so I'm going to put it between the 8 and the 12. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, it would probably help if I plugged it in. It is definitely not as fine as flour. Oh no, definitely not. Let me send it through again. I'm gonna send it through again. See if I can get it finer than that. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm not sure if this is the solution or not. It's still super, it's almost like cornmeal consistency. It's not really flour. You know what though? I think I'm gonna feed my sourdough starter with it and see what happens. Should I? I'm just gonna go for it. My mom has my sourdough starter too, so if anything ever happened and I lost it, she has it also. This is definitely not like flour fine at all. It's definitely more like cornmeal. However, my thought is, if I can feed my sourdough starter with it and use it to make my morning flatbread in the morning, I'm still getting the nutrients because whole wheat flour using the entire wheat berry is so nutrient dense. It's got all sorts of really good things in it, and the lack of those things is what has that deficiency that's been caused is what's been such an issue for us. I'm going to try it, and I'm just going to see how it goes, and if I can use it to make my sourdough flatbread in the morning, then at least I'm consuming it, even if I'm not consuming it across the board, until this prayer is answered and I figure out how to get a legit grain mill. I think this is the move for now. We'll see. We'll see what my sourdough starter thinks of it. I've got about 15 minutes until I have to leave to bring Tom his smoothie, so I want to get another project done. I've got this cool hooked needle here and some pretty thick thread, and I have a little bucket of cayenne peppers, and I want to hang these up to dry. So I'm going to take my needle and insert it through the green part here. So that it is on the string. And I'm going to go through here and do it with all of these. This one piece of string here, this thread rather, it's the only thick piece of thread that I have left. I had a whole thing of it, but I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm going to try to squeeze them all on here, but you don't want it to be too crowded because the whole purpose of this is for them to dry. So they have to have space, you know, from each other. So I'm just going to do the best I can here to try to get them all on here but spaced out. But I really want to get everything off my counter, and I've had these sitting on my counter for some time now. And there's no reason for that because I can hang them up and get them drying. And the purpose of me doing this, I want to dry them, and I want to turn them into cayenne powder to use in my cooking so that I don't have to buy cayenne powder. And honestly, I'm shocked at how well the cayenne peppers have done. I bought these as a started plant. I saw them when I was shopping at a nursery, and I said, yeah, sure, let's do that. And if it works, I'll do this. And if not, it's, you know, I lose whatever, $250, however much the plant was. And yeah, the plant's actually prolifically putting on peppers. Okay, that looks great. Oh, how fun. What a fun little homesteading project. I'm excited about this. All right, I'm going to hang this up in my homesteading room on my drying rack, and I'll take you with me and show you what that's going to look like. The last thing I want to show you guys is the sourdough starter is active with me adding in that freshly ground but still very coarse flour. You can see the bubbles after I fed it, and it's growing in size, and it smells really good. I love the smell of sourdough starter. But as you can also hopefully see, it's very coarse, very, very coarse. So I'm happy to see that my sourdough starter likes it. I will use it for my flatbreads in the morning because I'm the kind of person, obviously, as you just saw with the beef liver, if I know that it's good for me, I can pretty much force myself to consume it. So even if my flatbread in the morning that I have for breakfast every day is a bit more on the like coarse, almost cornbready texture side of things, that's fine. That's no big deal. But I'll be very happy to know that I'm getting the health benefits of consuming the whole wheat berry in flour form and not just the endosperm, and getting all of those vitamin nutrients, the vitamin E that comes with it. I'm really excited for the health benefits. But let me know down in the comments what you think about getting a grain mill, because I'm just not really sure how that's going to go. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I do know one thing for sure. I don't have the money to go purchase like a brand new, and oh, I've been surfing Facebook Marketplace every day. I search grain mill, and there are a few, but they're not close. They're in like Connecticut or Pennsylvania, because I would be totally fine with getting a used one. So let me know what you guys think about that, if anything is standing out to you, if you have any ideas, because I definitely want one, and I'm definitely feeling led to mill not just my own flour, but the flour for my family too. We'll see what's going on with that. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I'm not going to show you the tomato sauce. I've done tomato sauce on this channel plenty of times, and I don't want to get too redundant. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me while we got some projects done, got the kitchen looking better, and just I feel so much better having these projects done. And you know, when things really start to build up, as women, they just hang out in the back of our minds, and we know they're there, and it just adds a little bit of stress, elevates those cortisol levels a little bit. So I'm glad that I was able to get some things accomplished. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith, my friends, and keep moving forward. Bye. bye.